All right, so, you know, everyone's fascinated by the future of global trade.
Yeah.
Who isn't right?
Right.
Those massive container ships. You see them in documentaries?
Yeah.
How are they going to keep up with the world's,
Yeah.
growing demand for everything?
Well,
We'll get this.
yeah.
The ports themselves are getting like a massive makeover.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we are diving deep today into an essay titled The Ports of the Future, Transforming Global Trade and Sustainability.
Okay.
And let me tell you,
Yeah.
it is packed with insights that are going to change how you think about how things get from A to B.
You know what's really captivating here is we're not just talking about like adding a few robots here and there.
Right.
This essay paints a picture of a total transformation.
Okay.
It's almost like ports are evolving into entirely new organisms.
Okay, I am intrigued.
Yeah.
So let's start with the robots, okay? Everyone's talking about robots.
Yeah.
Are ports really becoming these sci-fi landscapes with robots doing all the work?
It's not just hype. It's happening right now.
Okay.
The essay highlights the port of Rotterdam, one of the busiest in the world,
Yeah.
where automated guided vehicles are already zipping around.
Really?
And robotic cranes are stacking containers.
Wow.
Like a high-stakes Tetris game.
That's kind of what it looks like when you see it in a time lapse. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
But what's the driving force behind this automation frenzy?
sure.
Is it just about looking cool and futuristic?
Right?
Or is there like a deeper reason?
Well, let's be honest. The cool factor is definitely there.
Okay.
But the real push comes from this need for radical efficiency. These systems run 24/7,
Okay.
which speeds up turnaround times and slashes costs.
Right.
In the world of global trade,
Yeah.
time is money,
Yeah.
and ports are under immense pressure to keep those goods moving.
Okay. That makes sense.
Right.
But I'm a little skeptical.
Sure.
Won't all this automation lead to massive job losses?
Yeah.
What happens to the people who currently work at ports?
It's a valid concern, and it's something the essay addresses directly.
Okay.
The reality is that this shift is likely to create a new demand for specialized skills.
Yeah.
Instead of operating machinery,
Right.
workers will be needed to manage and maintain
Okay.
these complex automated systems.
Okay.
Think of it as an evolution,
Okay.
not just a replacement.
So the robots take care of the heavy lifting, but they still need human brains
Right.
to keep everything running smoothly.
Exactly.
Okay.
And those human brains are going to have some seriously powerful tools at their disposal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The essay dives into the concept of ports becoming these interconnected digital ecosystems powered by the Internet of Things, or IoT.
Now, you know I'm all for cool tech,
Yeah,
but sometimes those buzzwords kind of make my head spin.
sure.
What does IoT really mean in the context of a port?
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Imagine a port where every piece of equipment, every container, even the weather itself, is constantly being monitored by sensors.
Okay.
That's the essence of IoT.
Gotcha.
It's about creating a network where data flows freely,
Right.
allowing for real-time insights and smarter decision-making.
Okay. I'm starting to see the potential here. So
Yeah.
instead of relying on guesswork
Right.
or outdated information, port operators have a live, constantly updating picture of everything happening within the port.
Exactly.
Okay.
That translates into smoother operations, fewer delays, and ultimately a more efficient flow of goods around the world.
Yeah.
For example, imagine a sensor on a crane
Okay.
detecting a slight vibration
Yeah.
that could indicate a potential malfunction.
Right.
Instead of waiting for a breakdown. The system can automatically alert maintenance crews to address the issue before it becomes a major problem.
Ah, so it's like preventative maintenance
Right.
on a massive scale.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah,
But the essay takes this concept even further, right?
it does.
It talks about smart ports. Is that just a fancy marketing term?
Right.
Or is there something more to it?
Smart ports are the next level of evolution.
Okay.
It's where all that data we talked about is fed into artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms.
Okay.
Now imagine a port that can actually analyze all this information in real time
Right.
and make decisions to optimize everything,
Yeah.
from traffic flow to energy consumption.
So we're talking about a port that can think for itself.
Yeah, in a way.
That's both fascinating and a little bit terrifying, if I'm honest.
It is a powerful concept, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Right.
For example, these AI-powered systems could predict when and where congestion is likely to occur,
Okay.
and then automatically adjust traffic signals
Right.
or redirect trucks to alternative routes.
Wow.
It's all about creating a more fluid
Yeah.
and efficient system.
Okay. I can see how that would be a huge benefit.
Yeah.
But let's be real. All this technology sounds pretty energy intensive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How does sustainability fit into the picture? Right. Are these high-tech ports just going to guzzle even more fossil fuels?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The essay makes a strong case for sustainability
Okay.
being a core principle of these future ports.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about efficiency,
Right.
it's about responsible growth.
So what does a sustainable port look like?
Yeah.
Are we talking about solar panels on cranes and wind turbines along the docks?
It's definitely part of the picture.
Okay.
The essay highlights the Port of Los Angeles,
Mhm.
which has implemented a clean truck program to reduce emissions from drayage trucks
Okay.
and is investing heavily in renewable energy sources like solar power.
That's encouraging to hear.
Yeah,
But let's face it,
sure.
ports are dealing with these massive container ships that keep getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
How are they adapting to these behemoths?
Yeah.
I mean, can you just keep making ports bigger forever?
It's a constant game of catch-up for sure. The essay points out that ports are having to make significant infrastructure investments,
Right.
deepening channels, widening berths,
Wow.
and upgrading cranes to handle these megaships.
Right.
It's a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
And it raises important questions about the limits of growth.
Because if those ships can't dock,
Yeah.
those goods can't reach their destinations.
Exactly.
It's all interconnected.
Right.
But what about the idea of moving some of the port activity further inland?
Mm-hmm.
Does the essay address that?
Absolutely.
Oh.
It introduces the concept of inland ports,
Yeah.
essentially extensions of coastal ports located further inland,
Right.
often connected by rail or barge.
Okay, so it's like extending the reach of the port further into the country.
Yeah.
What's the advantage of that?
Inland ports offer a number of benefits.
Okay.
For one, they can help distribute cargo more efficiently
Right?
and reduce congestion in already crowded coastal cities.
That makes sense.
That can also make the entire system more resilient by providing alternative routes for goods in case a coastal port is disrupted.
So it's not putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Exactly.
But with all this valuable cargo moving around,
Yeah,
security has to be a major concern, right?
it is.
How are ports addressing the increasing threat of cyber attacks and other disruptions?
Security is paramount in the modern port landscape.
Okay.
The essay highlights the adoption of cutting-edge technologies,
Okay.
like biometric authentication for access control, AI-powered surveillance systems to detect suspicious activity,
Got it.
and robust cybersecurity protocols to protect against digital threats.
Wow.
It's like a multi-layered defense system
Right.
designed to keep those goods safe and the entire operation running smoothly.
Wow, so it's like a digital fortress.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about this whole blockchain thing that everyone's talking
Yeah.
about. How does that play into port security?
Sure.
I always thought blockchain was just for cryptocurrencies.
It's true that blockchain gained fame with cryptocurrencies,
Yeah.
but its potential applications go far beyond that
Okay.
in the context of ports.
Yeah.
Blockchain can be used to create a secure and transparent record of cargo movements, which helps prevent fraud, theft, and delays.
Okay.
Imagine a digital ledger that tracks a container from the moment it's loaded onto a ship
Right.
to its final destination.
Okay.
Every transaction is recorded in a way that is virtually tamper-proof,
Gotcha.
creating a level of accountability and traceability that was previously impossible.
Okay. I'm starting to see how that could be a game changer.
Yeah.
It's like giving each container its own digital passport that can be verified at every step of the journey.
Exactly.
But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about energy.
Sure.
We touched on sustainability earlier.
Right.
But how are ports specifically addressing their reliance on fossil fuels? I mean, those massive cranes and ships can't run on sunshine and good intentions alone.
Right. That's where the real energy revolution comes in.
Okay.
The essay points to a major transition happening in the maritime industry
Okay.
with a significant shift towards renewable energy sources
Yeah.
like wind, solar, and even hydrogen.
Okay, now you're talking.
Yeah.
But what does that look like in practice? Are we talking about solar panels covering entire docks and wind turbines towering over container ships?
It's a combination of approaches.
Okay.
The essay highlights ports that are electrifying their infrastructure,
Okay.
from cranes and vehicles to lighting systems,
Gotcha.
and then using renewable sources to generate that electricity.
Mm-hmm.
There are also exciting developments in hydrogen fuel cell technology,
Right.
which has the potential to power everything from cargo handling equipment to the ships themselves.
So it's a complete overhaul of the energy system,
Yeah,
moving away from fossil fuels and towards a cleaner and more sustainable future.
exactly.
Well, it's amazing to consider all of these changes.
It is. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah, and I think that's a great place to stop for today.
Okay.
So join us for part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll continue exploring the many facets of the ports of the future.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the ports of the future. Last time, we left off talking about climate resilience and those innovative solutions inspired by nature.
Yeah.
Seriously, who knew mangrove forests could be part of a port's defense strategy?
It's a testament to the ingenuity and adaptability of these modern ports.
Right.
They're not just reacting to challenges, they're
Right.
proactively seeking out solutions,
Yeah.
often from unexpected sources.
It's like they're becoming these living organisms,
Yeah.
constantly evolving and adapting to the changing environment. But all this innovation comes at a cost, right?
Sure.
We're talking about massive infrastructure projects,
Right.
cutting-edge technology,
Yeah.
and a complete overhaul of energy systems.
Mm.
Who's footing the bill for all of this?
It's a significant investment, no doubt.
Yeah.
But the essay points out that it's a shared responsibility, with both the public and private sectors recognizing the strategic importance of modernizing port infrastructure.
Okay, so governments are stepping up with funding
Right.
because, well, these are national assets, essential for global trade.
Yeah.
But what about the companies that actually use these ports?
Sure.
The shipping lines,
Right.
the logistics providers,
Yeah.
are they chipping in?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Private companies are investing heavily in port infrastructure as well.
gotcha.
They understand that efficient and reliable ports are critical to their operations,
Right.
and they're willing to put their money where their cargo is, so to speak.
It's like a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Everyone benefits from a smoothly functioning port system.
Right.
But amidst all this talk about technology and economics,
Mhm.
let's not forget about the human side of the equation.
Sure.
We talked earlier about the potential impact of automation on jobs.
Yeah.
But are there other social implications we need to consider?
You're right. It's not just about the technology itself,
Right.
but how these changes affect the lives of real people,
Mm.
the communities surrounding these ports.
Right.
The essay highlights the need for a multifaceted approach,
Yeah.
one that recognizes the potential benefits,
Yeah.
but also addresses the potential challenges.
So it's not just a matter of saying, hey, look at this cool new robot,
Right.
but rather, how do we integrate this technology in a way that benefits everyone?
Exactly.
Okay.
And a key aspect of that
Yeah.
is investing in education and training programs
Okay.
to help workers adapt to the changing demands of the maritime industry.
Right.
As ports become more automated and technologically advanced,
Mm-hmm.
there will be a need for a workforce with specialized skills in areas like robotics,
Okay.
data analytics,
Yeah.
and cybersecurity.
So it's not just about preventing job losses,
Right.
but actually creating new opportunities that are aligned with the future of the industry.
Okay. And it's not just about technical skills either.
Right.
The essay emphasizes the importance of developing critical thinking, problem solving,
Yeah.
and adaptability.
Right.
The kind of skills that will be essential in a rapidly evolving work environment.
It's almost like we're witnessing a new kind of industrial revolution happening at ports.
Yeah.
One that demands a whole new set of skills and mindsets.
Right.
But what about the timeline for all of this?
Sure.
When can we expect to see these futuristic ports become a reality?
Yeah.
Is this something that's decades away, or is it happening right now?
The transformation is already underway.
Wow.
Many ports around the world are implementing these innovations as we speak.
Okay.
But the pace of change will vary,
Right.
depending on factors like funding,
Mm-hmm.
political will,
Yep.
and the specific needs of each port.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
Each port has its own unique challenges and opportunities.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the overall direction is clear, towards smarter, greener, and more efficient ports that can handle the growing demands of global trade.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this transformation is not just about keeping up.
Right.
It's about staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
The ports that embrace these innovations
Mm-hmm.
will be the ones that thrive in the competitive global economy of the 21st century.
Because let's face it, in today's world,
Yeah.
speed and efficiency are everything.
Right.
Consumers expect their goods to arrive quickly and reliably. And
Yeah.
ports played a crucial role in making that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as global trade continues to grow,
Right.
the pressure on ports will only intensify.
Yeah.
That's why these innovations are so vital. They're not just about making ports look cool and futuristic.
Right.
They're about ensuring that they can handle the demands of the 21st century and beyond.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the big picture trends shaping the future of ports, but I'm curious about some of the more specific innovations that are being developed. Are there any examples that really stand out to you? Something that really captures the imagination?
There are so many exciting developments happening right now.
Yeah.
One that I find particularly intriguing
Oh, yeah.
is the exploration of Hyperloop technology for cargo transportation.
Wait, Hyperloop?
Yeah.
Like those futuristic pods that shoot through vacuum tubes at supersonic speeds?
Right.
Isn't that still mostly science fiction?
It might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie,
You're right.
but several companies are actively developing Hyperloop systems,
Really?
specifically designed for moving cargo between ports and inland destinations.
Okay, I have to admit, that's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Imagine shipping containers flying across the country at hundreds of miles per hour.
Right.
What would that mean for global trade?
It would be a game changer.
Wow.
It would dramatically reduce transportation times,
Right.
potentially cutting days or even weeks off the current shipping times.
Okay.
It could also revolutionize the way we think about supply chains, making it feasible to transport perishable goods over long distances quickly and efficiently.
I could see the appeal.
Yeah.
Faster shipping, fresher produce,
Right.
and maybe even less reliance on those massive cargo ships that are contributing to greenhouse gas emissions.
Exactly.
And what about the feasibility of all this?
Sure.
Hyperloop systems seem incredibly complex and expensive to build. Are we talking about decades before this becomes a reality?
It's true that there are significant challenges to overcome,
Yeah.
both in terms of technology and infrastructure.
Right.
Building a Hyperloop system requires massive investments in careful planning. There are also regulatory hurdles to address and safety concerns to mitigate.
So it's not a matter of just snapping your fingers and making it happen.
Right.
But it sounds like the potential benefits are so great that it's worth exploring further.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Hyperloop for cargo, duly noted. What other futuristic tech has caught your eye?
Another area of innovation that's gaining traction is autonomous shipping.
Okay.
We talked earlier about self-driving trucks within ports.
Right.
But now imagine ships that can navigate the open ocean without a human crew.
Okay. That's definitely pushing the boundaries of what I thought was possible.
Yeah.
Are we talking about fully unmanned ships?
Yeah.
Like ghost ships sailing across the ocean?
That's the ultimate vision, yes.
Wow.
But it's still a long way off.
Okay.
There are significant technical and regulatory challenges to address
Right.
before we see fully autonomous cargo ships sailing the seas. But the industry is making steady progress.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
But let's say, hypothetically, that we do overcome those challenges.
Okay.
What would be the advantages of autonomous shipping,
Sure.
besides, the cool factor of robot ships?
From an economic standpoint,
Okay.
autonomous ships would significantly reduce labor costs
Right.
and could optimize fuel efficiency, leading to lower operating expenses.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking about safety. Wouldn't unmanned ships be more vulnerable to accidents or even piracy?
Those are valid concerns.
Yeah.
And they're being addressed in the development of these autonomous systems. These ships would be equipped with advanced sensors, artificial intelligence, and sophisticated navigation systems,
Yeah.
potentially making them less prone to human error,
Okay.
which is a major factor in maritime accidents.
So it's almost like replacing human fallibility with machine precision.
In a way, yeah.
But what about piracy? I mean, a ship with no crew seems like an easy target.
Security will be a top priority in the development of autonomous ships.
Right.
They'll likely be equipped with advanced surveillance systems,
Okay.
remote control capabilities, and possibly even defensive mechanisms to deter pirates and other threats.
It's like a high-tech game of cat and mouse on the high seas.
Yeah.
Okay, so autonomous shipping is still a work in progress,
Right.
but it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure.
Any other futuristic technologies that have you excited?
One more I'd like to mention is the use of drones for port operations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Drones are everywhere these days.
they are.
But how are they being used in the context of a busy port?
Sure.
I mean, aren't those massive cranes and container ships a bit of a hazard for something so small and delicate?
Drones are proving to be surprisingly versatile in the port environment.
Right.
They can be used for tasks like inspecting infrastructure for damage, monitoring security,
Right.
and even transporting small packages or documents within the port area.
So instead of sending a human inspector to climb all over a crane,
Right.
you can just dispatch a drone to take a look.
Exactly.
That seems a lot safer and more efficient.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because drones can access hard-to-reach areas and
Yeah.
collect high-resolution images and data,
Right.
they can provide valuable insights that would be difficult or dangerous to obtain otherwise.
And I imagine they can do it faster and cheaper than traditional methods. It's like a whole new perspective on port operations, literally.
Yeah.
But with all this talk about robots, drones, and AI, it's easy to lose sight of the human element.
Sure.
What about the people who work at these ports?
Right.
How are their roles changing in this increasingly automated world?
That's a crucial question.
Yeah.
And it's one that the essay addresses with sensitivity and insight.
Yeah.
As technology transforms the port landscape, the roles of workers are evolving as well.
So it's not just about replacing jobs,
Right.
but about redefining them.
Yeah.
What does that look like in practice?
We're seeing a shift from manual labor to more specialized roles that require technical skills, problem-solving abilities,
Right.
and a deeper understanding of how these complex systems work. For example, instead of operating a crane,
Yeah.
a worker might be responsible for managing a fleet of automated vehicles,
Okay.
monitoring their performance,
Right.
and troubleshooting any issues that arise.
So it's a move towards more skilled and higher paying jobs.
Yeah, often, yeah.
But does that mean that everyone will need a college degree to work at a port in the future?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
The essay emphasizes the importance of providing accessible training and education opportunities for workers at all levels,
Right.
recognizing that the transition to a more technologically advanced workforce requires a collaborative effort
Okay.
between governments, industry, and educational institutions.
It's like a collective responsibility to ensure that no one gets left behind in this technological revolution.
Exactly.
But beyond the impact on individual jobs, how are these changes affecting the overall culture and dynamics of the port workforce?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
And one that deserves further exploration.
Right.
As technology reshapes the work environment, it's also likely to reshape the social interactions and relationships within the port community.
It's like a whole new social ecosystem emerging within these technologically advanced ports.
Right.
Well, I think we need to take a quick break here to process all of this mind-blowing information.
Okay.
Join us in part 3 of this deep dive as we delve even further into the human side of the ports of the future and explore the global implications of this technological revolution. Welcome back to our deep dive into the ports of the future. We've been on quite a journey, haven't we?
We have.
From robot armies to Hyperloop highways for cargo.
Right.
And those ghost ships sailing the high seas. It's enough to make your head spin.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a whirlwind of innovation, for sure. But amidst all this talk about cutting-edge tech, it's easy to forget that ports are at their core about people.
That's true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Behind all the automation and digitalization,
Right.
there's still real people working tirelessly to keep those goods flowing.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how their roles are evolving and how important it is to equip them with the skills to thrive in this new environment.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about individual skills either. The essay delves into the idea that the entire culture of the port workforce is undergoing a transformation.
That's right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What kind of cultural shifts are we talking about?
Think about it this way.
Okay.
As ports become more automated and reliant on data, the traditional hierarchy and lines of communication are likely to change as well.
Okay.
We might see a move towards more collaborative and decentralized decision-making,
Right.
where information is shared more freely and workers at all levels have a greater voice in how things are done.
So it's not just about learning new technical skills.
Yeah.
It's about adapting to a new way of working.
Right.
One that emphasizes teamwork, communication, and adaptability.
Exactly.
And this shift in culture could have a ripple effect throughout the entire port ecosystem, impacting everything from labor relations to safety protocols to the way ports interact with their surrounding communities.
You really could.
Kind of like a whole new social fabric being woven within these technologically advanced ports.
Uh-huh.
But let's zoom out even further for a moment
Sure.
and think about the global implications of these changes.
Okay.
How will the transformation of ports impact the overall flow of goods around the world?
It has the potential to make global trade even more efficient and interconnected,
Okay.
breaking down barriers and streamlining the movement of goods across borders.
Okay.
Imagine a world where goods can move seamlessly from one continent to another,
Yeah.
with minimal delays and disruptions, powered by intelligent systems that optimize every step of the journey.
That sounds like a dream come true for businesses and consumers alike.
It does.
But wouldn't that also create new challenges?
It could.
I mean, if ports become these hyper-efficient hubs,
Yeah.
wouldn't that lead to even more congestion and competition for resources?
It's a valid concern.
Right.
The essay acknowledges that as ports become more efficient, it's crucial to address potential bottlenecks and ensure that the benefits of this increased efficiency are shared widely. This might involve investing in infrastructure improvements, streamlining customs procedures, and developing new models for collaboration and information sharing between ports.
So it's not just about making individual ports faster.
Right.
It's about optimizing the entire global trade network.
Yeah.
Making sure that everyone benefits from these advancements.
Exactly.
But what about the impact on developing countries?
Sure.
Will they be able to keep up with these rapid technological advancements, or will they be left behind?
It's a crucial question.
Yeah.
The essay emphasizes the importance of ensuring that the benefits of these innovations are accessible to all countries,
Okay.
regardless of their level of development.
Right.
This might involve providing financial assistance, sharing knowledge and expertise, and fostering collaboration between ports in developed and developing countries.
So it's not just about competition.
Right.
It's about cooperation.
Yeah.
Recognizing that a truly efficient and sustainable global trade system requires everyone to be on board.
Exactly.
And it's not just about economics either.
That's right.
The essay makes a compelling case for the role of ports in promoting social and environmental progress. As ports become more sustainable and integrated with their surrounding communities, they can become catalysts for positive change, driving innovation, creating jobs, and improving the quality of life for people around the world.
Couldn't agree more.
It's a vision of ports as not just economic engines, but as forces for good in the world, contributing to a more equitable, sustainable, and interconnected future.
Right.
Okay, I'm officially inspired.
Good.
But before we get too carried away with all these grand visions of the future, let's bring it back down to earth for a moment.
Okay.
What's the one key takeaway you'd like our listener to remember from this deep dive?
The ports of the future will be more than just places where cargo is loaded and unloaded. They will be hubs of innovation, sustainability, and social progress, playing a pivotal role in shaping the global economy and our collective future. They will be dynamic, interconnected, and constantly evolving, driven by a combination of technological advancements, environmental awareness, and a deep understanding of the human element at the heart of it all.
I think that's a perfect way to sum it up.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time to be witnessing this transformation unfold.
It is.
And I, for one, am eager to see what the future holds for these vital gateways to the world.
Me too.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the ports of the future.
It was a pleasure.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep imagining the possibilities, because the future is being shaped right now, and it's filled with incredible potential.